In this video, I will be transforming this house into this, using simple building techniques and tips you also can use to improve your building skills in Minecraft. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, the first thing you want to do is to not have boxes with a roof on. You want to vary the house in shapes. You want to add extensions all over the place. And yeah, so essentially the first step is to make the shape of the house. So as you can see here, if let's say you have a square house like this, you want to add extensions, things that pop out, and these pop-outs or extensions should all vary in sizes and heights. So yeah, the first step is the shape of your house, and I will add a lot of shapes to this house right now, so you can see the difference from just that. Okay, so the next step you want to think of is your roofs. Right now all I got is some simple staircase roofs. That's what most people do. But roofs are some of the most important thing of the whole build. So, there's a lot of different roofs. But first, I see a lot of people building roofs like this. Like the minimum you can do is to add stairs underneath like this. So it creates more of a 3D and realistic effect, and maybe even something like this on the top to make it look even more 3D. And just by doing that, as you can see, it just looks a lot more better. So there's a lot of different roof types. First you have straightforward plain staircase roof with a little thing on top. Then you have what I like to call the barn roof. What you do here is you place one plank and a stair, one plank and a stair, and what it does, it's creating a curve at the top, because as you can see here I quit the one block stair. I just took two stairs right after each other, and so it becomes more curvy at the top. And here is something I like to call the church roof. This is extremely steep, and what you do is you create these pillars of just planks with a inverted stair on top. All of these pillars can vary in height. As you can see here, we have 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I've even added a little thing on top here, some fences, so to make it look even steeper. Then you have the hut roof, plain simple, just slabs around the house, and yeah, one up, slabs around, one up, slab around, and a slab on top. Then you have whatever this is. This is not a really good example, but what you do is you begin on a hut roof, one slab, or slab around, one up, slab around, one up, and then you at one point stop, so you get a flat roof like this. And what this does is now you can build buildings on top of your building, and that creates, or it can create, very interesting effects. Now lastly, when it comes to roofs, I see a lot of people building it with one block. I like to do a outline first, say tough blocks, for example. Just take some random polished tough stairs. If you have this at the let me just fix this, at the edges of your roof, it will look so much better. that is just infinitely better than the last one. So yeah, I will add these signs to the original house and we'll see how it looks. As you can see, just by adding all of these small steps to and like adding all of these different kinds of roof shapes, we get a much better looking house than before. But it's still plain and simple, oak planks and spruce stairs mostly. And you don't want to have that. So here I have like a replica basically of what I have now. Oak planks and spruce slab hut house. Now here is where things get interesting. When you divide it with logs like this, instead of having a kind of square box and a house, now you have divided it into 4 different walls. And this will be important in the 4th step over there. So now you've kind of structured the walls. And then I went ahead and kind of structured the roof also with an outline that I talked about over there to get this kind of more structured roof. So as you can see, we went from this to this and now this, and then to this. Now this isn't as complicated as it looks, because all I've basically done is we have the structure complete both for the roof and the walls, but what we need is depth to our builds. So what I've basically done is I've added 4 logs to the walls here. So now I've kinda divided it into 4 parts again that I can work with separately. So now I have this wall and this wall are 2 separate walls kind of. And it also makes it like the depth so that I can build things here without it sticking out of the build. And that's exactly what I've done. I created like a kinda curve here to make it kind of smoothen it out from this log to this wall, and added some detailing. I went a little overboard with it, but I hope that's okay. Some trees, a beehive for the ambience. And when it comes to structure and depth, what I did a lot of times, and I see a lot of people still do, is they make kinda okay, and then they make this and then they're happy with it, copy it and paste it all over the sides. But I'm not really a big fan of that, because it makes the build so boring, really. So what you want to do is to spice things up a little bit. Here I just put the door basically, and then here on this side I've added a little extension to the house just to kind of spice things up a little bit and vary how the house looks from the different sides. And on the 4th side I added a window and a flower bed with some flowers on. So it's I kinda not done that much from that to structure the walls and the roofs, and now to add depth and this curve and some detailing here and there. So yeah, that's basically what I want to do now with a big house over here. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so that was a quick time lapse of me adding the kind of outline to the roofs, and already it looks insanely better again. So now it's time to structure the walls. Let's get started. Alright, I just finished making the structure of the walls in the house, and yeah, so far I think it looks pretty good. So now it's time to add some depth to the walls. So let's get started. Okay, so I just finished making the first wall, and so far I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So yeah, also want just a short break, also to tell you guys that my English, it's not the best, sorry for that, but yeah. And also, if you end up liking this video, please consider subscribing and liking. That would make me really happy. And without further ado, let's keep going. So I made a little short stop here, just because, well, earlier I said don't repeat yourself, but I kinda already did that right here. But I just wanted to say that if you, or you must, or if you have to, you can. And I don't necessarily have to, but I feel like it's better to just do it now, and then you can always change it afterwards. Because if not, you end up spending hours on thinking, how can I put this together? So yeah, I just want to make a short mention there. So yeah, let's keep going.
Liftoff.
Okay, so I'm basically finished. Now, before you quit the video, I just want to mention a few things. First of all, what should have been the first step, which is planning. I just completely freestyled this, and I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. But you should always plan your builds, because if not, you're gonna end up with, I can see if I can find something. For example, here, it just doesn't add up, as you can see. So you should always plan your build beforehand. And next, you have texturizing. I've not gone into it because I wanted to keep this build fairly simple. while kinda still keeping it as advanced as possible. But like there's a lot of that could have been improved with texturing. I could texturize the roof, maybe add some slabs or maybe swap out some stairs with some blocks. And down here I could have maybe swapped out some of these planks with stripped oak logs and maybe added some cracked bricks and stuff. So that's texturizing. But I didn't add it here. That's a little bit more advanced, and I want to keep this video as simple as possible. And you also have a kinda, what is it called? Gradients, which is basically the same reason I didn't add it. And you have also roofs. The roofs here are fairly simple actually, once you get the hang of it. So you could add something like, just hang on with me, this is gonna look terrible, horrific, yeah, not good, but you'll see where I'm going with it at least. If you do something like this, just, yeah, you see like kind of where I'm going with it. So the roofs are fairly simple and plain, so I could have kind of given it a little bit more to look at, kinda, just not plain simple roofs. But that's also again a little bit more advanced, and I wanted to keep this video as simple as possible. But I hope you liked this video. I definitely had a whole lot of fun making it, and yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I hope you learned something too. And I will see you again in the next episode or video. Bye.